Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Michaela and today I am going to be doing my Lifeline Bookfest book haul. Lifeline is a helpline for people who are under mental duress. All of the proceeds made from these donations from the community and that are sold back at the Bookfest go into maintaining the hotline. It's a volunteer only event. It's super amazing. I've been going to it for years. Usually it is held in January and June. I will put some resources for mental health help down in the Dropbox, as well as Lifeline's emergency crisis number. All of these books were about like $4 or $5 each. On the first day I went, I had like an idea of the things that I wanted to grab and I completely went AWOL from that. I ended up buying like all of the seasons, all 10 seasons, can I say. Actually, I bought season 9 twice of Stargate. So if anyone needs a season 9 Stargate SG1, let me know. All of my OGs will know. Growing up in Australia, 7:30 Friday night, Channel 7, that's when Stargate was on. I don't know why I did what I did, but I did go back to Bookfest another 2 times. So I've rectified the mistakes, I've split everything into piles, and now I will haul all of the books for you and kind of explain my logic behind getting some of them. There is one that I have a bunch of titles from one author, as well as 2 piles from an author who goes under different names. And I'll kind of explain the reasoning behind that, as well as digging through like a gutter rat and being able to find some books that I kept deeming as like horny. I was like, is this a horny book? Like a romance book? Because it's hard enough to find a romance book on a traditional shelf in a bookstore here in Australia, let alone at a secondhand book festival. So I tried my hardest. Hopefully this is a huge win for the horny community. We're out there, we're represented, okay? Let's get on with the book haul. The first book that I grabbed was The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. I grabbed this one because I figured it's a cute little YA book, probably appropriate for a younger sort of reader. I like to kind of check these ones out every once in a while, just my friends who have younger kids who sort of want to read a romance novel without getting to the nitty-gritty things that I want to read about in a romance novel. And it was only $4, and I figured I can always give it to my friend's daughter, who I'm always giving books to, who I actually took and was like her guide around Bookfest yesterday. She absolutely had the best time ever, so this one will probably be going to her if she so wants it. So I immediately deemed these 2 horny books just by the look of them, and that is Crave the Night and Taken by Midnight. I loved the sound of this one. They are both by Lara Adrian. This one is In the Frozen Wilds of Alaska. Former state trooper, I can't see guys, I'm sorry. Jenna Darrow has taken hostage by a deadly vampire who terrorized her for hours. I stopped reading at that point, put them in my cart. The rest is history. I was like, 2, they're side by side. It's a sign, you can come home with me. My little vampire smut. This one, it is Soulless by Gail Carringer. This is the first book in the Parasol Protectorate series. I've wanted to read this one for years. It kind of kicked around BookTube back in the day. If you haven't watched my video, the books that TikTok hasn't romanticized yet, I'll link it up here. This would definitely be like in part 2 of that. If you are also new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, so hit the subscribe button. I'm always doing weird stuff like this. I am like a ferret on crack. I cannot keep a train of thought. I apologize, but this is kind of like a steampunk, sort of Victorian. It's about Alexis Tarabody, and she is someone who like takes magic away from people, I'm pretty sure. I think that this is set in like England in the 1800s, I want to say. Well, I mean, like from the cover of it, like maybe she just dresses like that in 2022, like get it bitch. Funny book. So this is Gabriel's Inferno. I had to grab this one because I saw it and I was like, why not? Or Vampire Smut, God willing. This is Forsaken by Maggie Shane. There's 2 books in this one. Twilight Fantasy, spelled with a PH, love that, and Twilight Illusions. And then this one is The Chosen and Embrace the Twilight and An Edge of Twilight. So maybe this is kind of piggybacking off the fact that Twilight sort of did well, but regardless of anything, I have them now. Okay, I grabbed this book by Kat Martin. It's called Against the Edge, and I think that it's like book number 9 and something, but it gave me the vibes of this Katie Ruggles book that I absolutely love. This is book number 3 in the Rocky Mountain Search and Rescue series. This is sort of the same thing. It's deep in the humid, rank heat of the Louisiana Bayou. A survivalist group has something that belongs to a former Navy SEAL, Ben Slocum, his son. So that some of these books, because they are like one couple, if there is an overarching mystery to them, I can always try to track them down on Kindle or even through my library. I went to the library today with my dad, made him get out a Tessa Bailey on his card. He may never forgive me, but I am his only child. So this book, it is from The Devereaux Legacy. It is Her Bachelor Challenge and His Marriage Bonus. Book Space Opera by Catherine M. Valenti. Obviously to go with my Stargate DVD, so why not? It's a very shiny cover that my ring light is loving to annoy. And then finally I grabbed this one. It is The Sweet Spot by Stephanie Ivanovich, which that name always spins me out because of like Janet Ivanovich and then the Stephanie Plum series. Like my brain just actually cannot handle something like that. It is from Avon Books, so I'm hoping that it's horny. Okay guys, this is where the wheels really fell off the bus and I became hyper fixated on finding as much as I could from these authors, and they were super widely available. I did find some books from the first author. I found them in store, the newer releases, but these are sort of the backlist. And then I figured as well, I could probably fill in the gaps of books that I want to read from it. The next book fest, if I have exhausted this entire pile, or I can get them from my library. Roberts writes under the name JD Robb when she does this Eve Dallas series. Don't worry, there is way more than these two. But I have Immortal in Death, A Holiday in Death, and I'm disgusting enough to think that it would be hilarious to read this around Christmas time. Vengeance in Death, Celebrity in Death, Golden in Death. Oh, that looks cute. Leverage in Death. I don't know if that's worn off or someone's that's meant to look like that. And Dark in Death. The Eve Dallas series is set in like, I think it's 2050. I think that there's like 50 something books out at the moment, which is super insane to me. It's almost been described as like a Law and Order kind of like, you have to watch every single episode to kind of get the story. I know that the main romance that kind of kicks up, it happens in the first 3 books, and I don't think that any of these are first 3 books. Look at that. See that? A $20 book. $20 book for $4. Honestly, guys, I'm making money on this. I'm not making money on this. So then I've never read anything that Nora Roberts has published under her own name, and I have some really good friends on Instagram. I'll link that down below if you want to follow me there as well. I grabbed this one. It is Birthright and Midnight Bayou. They both sounded really good. The Birthright is ancient human bones are discovered in the small town of Woodsboro, and I stopped reading at that point because I was like, oh, that's the town that Scream's set in. Obviously not what's going on in this book, or maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe Nora Roberts is a massive Scream fan. Let me know in the comments down below if you are as well, because I fucking love those movies. I'm sure this is like a paranormal sort of vibe. It is called Dark Witch. I think that it's the start of a trilogy, if I remember correctly. I was playing with my Goodreads on my phone when I was at the book fest. They're all in amazing condition as well, guys. There's no like real yellowing. If I did kind of find ones that were a little bit like not up to what I wanted to bring into my collection, I could just find them somewhere else. I was pretty lucky in that respect. Last one that I've got by Nora Roberts is Home Away from Home, and there's 2 books in this one. So we've got Temptation and Untamed. So Temptation is actually the one that really called to me, and it is socialite in Calborough. I didn't expect running a girls' camp to be easy, but she never thought she'd literally be run up an apple tree by the little monsters. Again, that's where I stopped reading. I was like, sold. It looked amazing. So I was kind of on the JD Robb kick, and I was like, yeah, amazing. I love murder. Like, it's cold, it's weird. I've watched so much Criminal Minds. I thought I just heard someone actually shit my pants. But then this author kept popping up, and I have read 1 book from this author. So to buy like 10 plus books on that assumption that I'm really going to enjoy them, I know that I'm going to enjoy them. I didn't realize that it is all part of the one romantic suspense series that this author does. I do have the first book and the second book, I'm pretty sure, and I like struck gold because they all look pretty different. Hold on, let me just... So they're by Karen Rose, and I will go through all of the ones that I got now. But yeah, I didn't realize that I had the first and second book, so I was like, score. So they're getting bumped on my TBR immediately because it is cold, it is windy here, and I just want to read something like these. The book that I've actually read from Karen Rose is Say You're Sorry. This is the story of Special Agent Gideon Reynolds. He had escaped from a cult. So in these books, there's typically trilogies within the overall story. This is like the start of the Sacramento trilogy. And then in the second book, another character is introduced. You don't really need all of the characters, but like I said, same thing with the JD Robb. I could probably fill in the gaps. I can kind of like either do maybe like a Kindle or like a library book, but I love this book. I think I gave this book 5 stars. It is a chunky mofo of a book. I definitely loved Karen Rose's writing style. I love the romance. I did love the suspense in it as well. So it was overall kind of perfect for me. I'll run through the rest of the Karen Rose books, and then I'll do like a final count about how we've got Don't Tell, You Can't Hide, So Then You Think. And see, this is why I thought they were not part of the one story, but there were so many of them. Like, it was really great walking along the tables. Like, obviously the name just jumps out immediately, so you're like, oh my god, that's another one. Alone in the Dark, Say No More. So this is book 2 in the Sacramento trilogy. Into the Dark, Very Dark Corner, Edge of Darkness. They're like piling up, oh my gosh. To 10, it's a little small one. No One Left to Tell, Watch Your Back, Have You Seen Her? Oh my god, is it gonna hit the... And finally, Death Is Not Enough. It's just, there it is! Ah, we made it! That's so funny. I'll count on that is 15 Karen Rose books, 4 official Nora Roberts books, 6 JD Robb, which is Nora Roberts as well, so like 10 by Nora Roberts, and 14 books that are potentially horny / easy to read. Much for watching this haul, guys. Let me know if you are in my neck of the woods and if you went to Lifeline Book Fest, if you have read any of these books. I love having conversations with you guys. Like I said, if you're new here, come and join the party. It's always a barrel of insanity. Hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Lots of love, hugs, and kisses. Mwah! Bye.